You're listening to Animal Radio.
Regular listeners know we've been talking the last few weeks about pet playgrounds. This fencing system, it's a real physical fence. You know, I don't want you to get confused. It's not one of those like electric fences or zapping fences. It's a real physical fence. And it's been tested on virtually every breed and has the approval of such groups as PETA. So if you have like a chewing dog that chews its way out of fences, you want to be listening up for this, because in just a couple of minutes, we'll tell you how you can use the code Animal Radio to receive a 10% discount on your Pet Playgrounds fencing system. But I figured, who better to tell you about it than the top dog at Pet Playgrounds, Victor Bomels, is joining us. Hi, Victor. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Splendid. Thank you so much. This fencing system is innovative, and it's something that's so needed for a lot of people that try to enclose their animals and have had failures in the past because they dig underneath or they chew their way through. Describe what the fence is all about and how it works so well.
Well, what it is it's a combination of materials. I'd say a 1,100-pound break-strength polypropylene mesh.
Wow.
That's combined with a metal hex wire. And it's all supported with a steel tension cable along the top and the bottom. And because the bottom of the fence flares in and gets staked down, that's what makes it almost impossible to climb through.
How'd you come up with this? Did you have a dog an escape artist? Or...
Is this personal?
Yeah, is it personal?
Yeah, it started personal. It was a puppy that ran away and got actually killed by a car.
Oh, no.
As a child. So then I became sort of an amateur trainer and trained a bunch of dogs, including my own. But the issue was still there are other dogs in the neighborhood. Even if you can call your dog off lead, the issue is the other animals. And then trying to figure out a solution for a fence, all of the solutions are very expensive, and many of them don't work. You know,
well, what about just like a chain link fence? Don't those work?
They do work. The issue is that they're very expensive, and they only work well on uneven when the ground is actually perfectly straight. And the other issue is they typically can get climbed over pretty easily and dug under if the ground isn't straight.
And so your Pet Playground system is a loose fence so that they can't climb it? Explain how that works.
That works because there aren't rails. Typical fences have rails. So that rail becomes very easy for a dog to put their paws on and pull themselves over. We have a tension cable along the top and a tension cable along the bottom. While there is some tension to keep it tight and straight, it isn't as steady as a rail. So dogs feel it, and they feel like it's a net, and they don't like the feeling.
I got to say, the reason that I really like this is that it's not an eyesore. I stand back like, well, you know, chain link fences are an eyesore.
You can see them a mile away. Yeah.
But I stand back from this fence about 10, 15 feet, and it disappears.
Absolutely. There's only a post required every 20 feet or a tree. And because there aren't any rails, that's why it blends in so incredibly well.
What about the people that say, I want to use one of these invisible electric fences? What do you usually say?
Well, you know, I usually say try it on your own neck first. And then, you know, the experts agree that it fails 30% of the time.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes it's years later.
Well, it doesn't keep animals out, though, does it?
That's the big problem.
I mean, I could have another dog come in my yard and attack my dogs or something. I wouldn't want that.
I have cats, and people that know me know I have a lot of cats.
Too many?
Maybe too many. And I like them to go outside. I like them to be able to smell the air and see the birds, but obviously I don't want them roaming free. Are we able to use the Pet Playgrounds fence for the cats?
Absolutely. We have a special arm that goes on the top of a 6-foot-tall dog fence kit, and it faces inward, and it actually creates an overhang type situation that makes it virtually impossible for a cat to climb out.
I love that.
Like I said, I have an escape artist. I'd like to put him up to that challenge. If any cat could get out, this one could.
It hasn't happened, but we've all seen Jurassic Park.
I encourage listeners to check out petplaygrounds.com, petplaygrounds.com, and you'll find out more about this real dog fencing, not electric fencing, not invisible. It is invisible when you stand back from about 10 to 15 feet. You can't see it, but it is an actual fence that they can't chew through, they can't dig under.
They can't climb.
And you can call them at 1-800-985-9202. That's 1-800-985-9202. And for a limited time, if you enter the code Animal Radio, you'll receive a 10% discount on your entire fencing system. So here's the website again, petplaygrounds.com. You can select your height. the size, choose whether you want to assemble it yourself or have a professional come over. In my case, I'd probably have a professional come over.
That'd be better for you, Hal.
Yeah. If you know me, like Judy knows me, you know
I
that
know you too well.
you want to hire out for that. But I'm sure it's fairly simple to put together or easy for those that are apt to do it. PetPlaygrounds.com is the website. Victor, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And we want to thank Pet Playgrounds for underwriting Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. If you missed any part of today's show, visit us at animalradio.com or download the Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.